disease, and she might never see him wake up. Dennis laughs on hearing that before he quickly falls back into sleep. Vivia tells the girls it is probably just a cold like the doctor said. But he thinks Dennis is burnt out from too much work because of the many customers keeping him busy non-stop ever since they got back from the royal capital. With that said, they decide to let him rest until he wakes up and leave, but Aetlier stays behind, pulls a chair next to the bed, and quietly takes a seat, sitting on the staircase outside. Henrietta and Vivia wish they could do something to help him. And that is when Bokel gets the smart idea of making porridge for him, with Vivia agreeing that food is vital to good health. That idea fires Henrietta up, and she puts her armor set back on because she is scared of fire. Then, she cheerfully hops into the back to look for ingredients and brings out a giant slab of meat that definitely does not belong in porridge, making Vivia worry a little. But when she pulls out her sword to slice it, he quickly tries to stop her before she cuts the shelf in half. While Bokel is on her way to Aetlier with more ice, she panics when she sees the two idiots fighting and yelling. Hearing the noise, Cestopich comes in worried about what is happening. Meanwhile, Aetlier watches Dennis gasp for air as his fever shows no signs of going down. His ice pack falls to the side, and when she checks his fever, she thinks it is her fault he is so tired, remembering when he went all out for her, knowing he will always be there to protect her. She puts the ice pack back and prays he gets well soon. At the same time, Dennis dreams of the time he pranked one of the chefs and escaped out the window. Seeing that, the head lady asks what happened, and the man explains Dennis ruined his chopped cabbage by shredding it into powder, claiming the little runt is pulling these pranks because he forgot he owes her his new life. While little Dennis peeks from outside, the man asks her to punish him, but she tells him there is no point because he is the kind of kid who understands on his own with time, leaving the little prankster stunned. Later, he excitedly runs with what he thinks is the best fried rice he cooked, because he copied it by using his disassemble skill on the head lady's dish. Inside the Black's restaurant, he quietly walks in carrying his fried rice, which he offers to the lady, who is surprised that a young chef like him made something that smells so good. Hearing that, he proudly offers her a bite, but the moment she tries it, it tastes so bad that it makes her sick. The chefs and waitresses quickly rush over to help, and when the head lady asks what happened, the man tells her Dennis served her bad rice. Looking at the worried boy, she simply uses her magic to remove the bad stuff and confidently tells the hesitant lady to give it a try. Everyone watches in suspense as she takes a bite and is surprised by how good it is. And she tells her the little cook just missed one of their special seasonings. Later, when she is alone in the kitchen, Dennis drops by looking very guilty and apologizes for using the wrong skill on his rice. But she gently reminds him of the importance of using the right skill. Just then, he bursts into tears because he was really proud of his fried rice, so she teaches him to pay more attention to his studies and listen to his seniors. Still, Dennis is surprised she knew he used the disassemble skill and used her combined skill to fix it instantly. She tells him it is no big deal, and they don't call her the legendary fried rice for nothing. When Dennis hears her cool title, he asks if he can be famous like her, too, and he cheers up when she confirms. Back in the present, as Vivia asks Cestopich why he came, the man admits he has a great passion for magic knowledge, and there is a special book among the ones Aetlier inherited that he wanted to read, though he realizes that making something for Dennis is much more important. And the moment Henrietta says porridge, he says they must cook rice. When she repeats that they are making porridge and not rice, the man of culture educates the fools that cooking rice perfectly is the most important step of making real porridge. And that is why he thinks they must first learn how to cook rice using their magic. Bokel and Vivia quickly get on board with the magic nerd who rambles about how passionate he was about magic before he became a lawyer. Bokel and Vivia understand how important it is to control fire magic with surgical accuracy to cook the rice, and Cestopich brilliantly suggests they use phantom flames because their power can be decreased by using less mana, while Henrietta stares in confusion from the background. At that moment, Vivia points out the major flaw that phantom fire does not make rice crispy. But Henrietta reminds the lunatic that they are trying to make porridge in the end, and it is not supposed to be crispy. Still, Cestopich is not convinced, and Bokel proposes they use the combination of normal and phantom flames for the best result. But Vivia comes up with another weird problem that gives Cestopich a headache. While the magic nerds continue theorizing the best solution, Henrietta sits down and drinks some tea, while Cestopich comes up with the ultimate technique where they use both kinds of fire magic with a catalyst. and before they move on to the next step, the magic team becomes exhausted, so they decide to take a break. Just then, Fat Man Polvo drops by and Henrietta is happy to see he got a gift for Dennis. But the scummy merchant says he is selling his items at half price, and Vivia is not fooled by the obvious scheme. However, Henrietta notices there is a rice cooker on the list, making Cestopich speechless. Polvo explains that the magic rice cooker makes flawless crispy rice, but Henrietta points out she needs to make porridge, so magic flames are the only way. Hearing that, the sweaty merchant grins and says it has a good porridge mode as well, and Henrietta asks if fire magic is not necessary. Polvo also gets confused and asks why they plan to cook the rice before making porridge when all it takes is to boil water and throw in some rice, which makes the magic team embarrassed. After Polvo and Cestopich leave, the three wait for the magic rice cooker to do its thing when Aetlier comes down and tells them Dennis's fever seems to be going down. Henrietta is glad to hear that because that means he will be able to eat their porridge. But when Aetlier notices they are making amateur porridge, she says they need eggs as well. With that said, the young lady cracks eggs like a pro as the three watch in awe from behind. As she stirs the eggs, Bockle shares she has never eaten sweet eggs, and Henrietta agrees. When Vivia says he cannot handle sweet eggs, Henrietta is surprised, and her reaction makes Bockle curious if she really does not have any preference in food. After thinking it over for a moment, Henrietta remembers there is one thing she does not like, and says it is leather shoes with a straight face. It takes Bockle and Vivia a moment to process what she said as she tells them about the sad times when her family used to eat leather shoes. Regretting his question, Vivia still asks her why she ate shoes, and she proudly teaches him that her dad said leather shoes are made from animals, and animals are edible, though she never liked the taste. Seeing Bockle in tears, Vivia tells the girls to end the conversation before it gets any more depressing. All the while Aetlier innocently stirs the eggs. Later that night, Dennis wakes up again as Aetlier opens the door. He is genuinely surprised to see egg porridge she cooked all by herself, and a single bite reminds him of the warmth he felt when he ate his master's fried rice. So he thanks the little cook for her delicious dinner. He then asks her if she really made it, and she adorably shows him how she stirred the eggs, making him really proud. Right before she drops the bomb that Polvo made the porridge, Dennis flips out when he hears her say it the second time, wondering what the hell Polvo was doing here. The following day, Henrietta cheerfully hums a song while strolling through the market when she runs into Vivia, who is stunned by the size of her backpack. She shyly replies that she got a little too excited for the big dinner, and along the way, a merchant becomes curious why the two regulars are not at the restaurant like usual. The two tell him it is a special day and grin at each other, full of excitement. Back at the restaurant, Bockle and Aetlier walk in to find Dennis packing up supplies while proudly wearing the shiny bracelet Aetlier gave him. Seeing the girl still in her apron, he tells her that she does not need to wear it everywhere she goes, but Aetlier refuses to change since she likes it. Just then, Vivia and Henrietta return fully ready to head out, so Dennis states it is time to roll out. Before they leave, Henrietta makes sure they are not forgetting the essentials like towels, extra soap, and buckets. With everything accounted for, they head to the bathhouse to wash up before the big feast, where Vivia completely loses it when he sees Dennis's jacked physique and rock-solid six-pack. Dennis flexes with pride and claims, "This is what a real man looks like," and Vivia showers him with compliments and begs to know the secret behind his beefy body. But Dennis changes the subject and asks Vivia why he is weaker than a broomstick. The boy claims that he doesn't need muscles because he is a mage, and even then, Dennis is exceptionally muscular for a fighter. But Dennis says anyone can look like him if they do 2,000 handstand push-ups a day, making it obvious he definitely is not human. After that, Dennis is outraged that the boy is not buck naked like he should be at a public bath and bullies him until he strips, while Henrietta happily shampoos Aetlier's silky smooth hair. Once both groups finish their soothing baths, they gather at the dining table covered with the finest food and drinks money can buy. Dennis asks Henrietta to do the honors as the food enthusiast of the group, and she suddenly feels shy about being put on the spot. She stiffens like dry spaghetti and gives a robotic speech about how thankful she is for everything. But when Dennis tells her to relax, she changes back to her goofy self. Henrietta reveals that even though she has been freeloading for a long time, she is finally proud to announce she got a job that earns her a sitting ovation from the others, and Dennis urges her to give the details, so she explains that she found work at the Night Order. The girl says she thought about it for a long time, and joining the order gives her the chance to help people as she wants. After that, Dennis turns to Vivia and asks if he has something to share as well, and the boy reveals that he also found a new party. Though it is not very large, he believes it is the first step on his journey to becoming a great mage. The girls cheer for him, and Henrietta says she is glad that both of them are not jobless anymore. But he refuses to be grouped with the freeloader, because, unlike her, he always paid his bills, and Dennis joins in on teasing her. After that, it is Baukel's turn, and she says she has decided to go back home after she becomes a teacher at the Magic Academy in the capital. Dennis recalls that she got the job offer before she even graduated, and Vivia makes her blush with a genuine compliment. With that said, Dennis raises a toast to a new chapter in everyone's life, and the sizzling barbecue feast begins, while Dennis chugs beer like there is no tomorrow. Aetlier shows Baukel her grilling skills. Seeing that, Vivia is happy that Baukel and Aetlier get along so